Hey guys, I'm back to talk about anxiety some more. So I got some good feedback on the journaling stuff last time, so I'm going to talk a little more about that later. But first I want to talk about what causes anxiety for me. And in the moment when I'm freaking out and I'm yelling at someone else, or I'm blaming someone else, or I'm shaking, or I have that heat running through my body and I don't know what to do and everything looks blurry. I mean, I don't have to explain how anxiety feels. Anyone that's watching this probably knows already how crippling it can be. So some of the things that I have learned, some of the techniques, is number one, asking myself questions. So one of the biggest questions that I always have to ask myself is, am I procrastinating something? Is there something big that I am putting off? That can give me huge anxiety and I won't even know it. Did I do something I'm feeling guilty about? Am I feeling like I'm not enough? Even little things like I didn't do my son's laundry today. Am I feeling like an unworthy mother? Or, am I feeling intense feelings from something simple? So some of the techniques that I have used that have helped for me, there's a lot of little weird ones that I've tried that sometimes work. One of them is to hold an ice cube in your hand really tight and just wait for it to melt. Sometimes that does help. It's kind of like a stress ball, but for some reason the temperature change in your hand, it does something, but it helps bring me down sometimes. Something that helps me is having a mission statement. What is my purpose every single day? And if I remind myself of that when I'm freaking out and having all of these intense feelings rush in over something that may be incredibly small and avoidable, that helps bring me back to reality. So for me, what is my mission statement? That's a whole another piece of a problem that I have, which is self-awareness. That brings up another point, which is I do a lot of segues, just to let you guys know. I got a lot of good feedback on the journaling. So something that I do, something that gives me anxiety, is a lack of self-awareness. Because a lack of self-awareness for me breeds insecurity. Insecurity for me breeds anxiety. So one of the things that I like to do with my journal, other than the minimalistic journaling that I talked about before, is to do these self-love challenges where you can find them on Pinterest. They give you a bunch of questions and you ask yourself one each day and you write it down in your journal. Like one could be, what is your biggest struggle with loving yourself? Day 2, get rid of a limiting belief about yourself. I'll share a couple of mine. For that one, I put, I can't be a leader. Day 3, what good habit do you want to start this month? Just stuff like that. It helps to get to know yourself better, and I have seen in my experience that helps me because it helps me define my mission statement more. I believe my purpose in this world is to be a mother. I have a 10-month-old biological baby girl. I have an adopted 8-year-old son, and I have a 4-year-old stepson. I believe that my purpose and my mission statement is to raise those children up in a way that they impact this world in a positive way. And so if I'm constantly reminding myself of that when I'm flipping out and having these intense meltdowns, it brings it back for me a little bit. Another thing that helps for me is asking questions, asking other people, getting facts, getting logic in there. So the other day, something that I did is I asked a few of my close friends to describe me in 3 words. And the responses that I got were so enlightening and comforting, because it was like, if I asked myself to describe myself in 3 words, it probably wouldn't be good. And so, I think that helps a lot with getting to know yourself and, bringing yourself back to reality. Who really am I? What's really going on? Kind of on the same note, asking someone their first impression of you. I wouldn't ask someone that doesn't like you, because that's first of all none of your business. There are always going to be people that don't like you. I'm talking about close friends and family. Even asking a family member like your mother or your father, what did you feel the first time you held me? What was your first impression of me? What kind of person did you think I would be? Did I turn out to be that person? Stuff like that. I really feel that a huge part of anxiety is feeling insecure about who you are as a person. And I think that comes from largely not knowing who you are as a person. And that is just my experience. These are some of the things that have helped me, and hopefully some of it helps you. A couple of the other little techniques that go along with the holding the ice cube, like stuff that I use just in the moment when these other things don't work. Put on music. For me, I have kids. Hold my baby or just stare at her. I have dogs. If you have dogs, just look at your dogs, hold your dogs, pet your dogs. Name things in the room. Anything that can ground you and remind you that there's good. Because it can be very, very overwhelming, and it can feel like it's all bad when you're in one of those moments. And I am going to talk a little bit more about the procrastination piece, because I think that that's a huge piece for me. Writing down priorities really helps me. A lot of the time when I'm freaking out and my head's on fire, it's because there are things that I should be doing and I know I should be doing and I'm not doing them. So getting organized, just putting stuff in a list, like I don't have to do everything right now. What is important at the moment? Breathing. I just realized I haven't breathed, I don't know. Taking deep breaths. If none of that works, put on your favorite song and dance. I'm not even kidding. I recommend Tom Petty, but I'm sorry, I still want to cry every time I say his name. But seriously, Shonda Rhimes had the right idea. Dance your ass off. If you put on your favorite song and you dance your ass off for 5 minutes and you still feel like shit, let me know. Because I don't believe you. No, I would. I love you.